the daily go get 'emism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting. And everything is going to be all right as long as you don't put your hands on me tonight. That's what we're talking about tonight. Power Monday all up in your area. It's the Daily Go Get 'Emism show, y'all. Let's kick this week off right. Yeah, Power Monday. Yeah, let's get it right. What? Let's hit that like button. Let's get algorithmic like. My name is Sun 7 and I run this thing on a late night. I'm here for you, y'all here for me, and you know how we do. Let we hit yo. Carry ride morning, noon, and Marvin, the Big B. It's good to see. I'm feeling good. Victory Monday, you know. Everything is gonna be all right. That's one thing I gotta get back into. I gotta let y'all know. Everything is gonna be all right. 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 Hold your head down. Everything is gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right. Do what you got. Everything is gonna be all right. Everything is gonna be all right. Stand tall. Yeah. Come on. What? Yeah. Yeah. You know how we do. Everything is good. Yeah, everything's gonna work out fine. One way or another, my son. One way or another. That's my motto. It's been that way. What? So tonight, we talk about as long as you don't put your hands on me. Is that acceptable? Because when it comes to violence, people try to act like words don't hurt. And I don't know about that. From what I know, certain words can lead to violence. But I'm not promoting none, but you know. Power Monday. Hold on, let me get it right. Everything is gonna be okay. As long as we search for a better way. It's about me and it's about you. As long as you follow through, come through. Carla's in the house, what's going on? Hold on, I'm gonna get to you. Yeah. Let's keep it going, baby. Urban Therapy with Sun 752, and this your daily. It's the daily go get 'em show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking all fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talk about as long as you don't put your hands on me tonight. As long as you don't put your hands on me. I've heard people say this, and you've probably heard people say this too. Like, as long as you don't put your hands on me, I don't care what you say. As long as you don't put your hands on me, I don't care what you do. But you know, when it really all comes down to it, it's hard to live up to and honor that type of feeling. Like, yeah, well, you know, when you're a little younger and, you know, you don't want to get in trouble, like at school, get suspended or whatever for fighting, somebody might advise you like, yo, as long as they don't put their hands on you, you know what I mean? You can look the other way. You can, you know, do whatever you got to do. What's that? Globulus? Says, you're not in Africa, out in the desert. Okay. It's funny because when I think about Africa, I normally think about a jungle. But you said not in Africa, out in the desert. Now, I'm not really sure about the desert areas of Africa. But maybe you could put me on. Like, maybe like coastal areas. I don't know. It could just be me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna make no noise. Oh, shit. TK Wright says, your YouTube stalled my screen, so I swiped and ended up in another live. Wow. Well. All right, come on. It says, the girl had 124 people and wasn't doing anything, saying anything except for double tap the screen, guys. Damn. Hey, so I guess some streamers got it like that. I gotta actually work for mine. So we're gonna get started. And Alfredo says the percussion and the energy earned you a subscription. Well, I appreciate you. If you think I'm lying, I'm talking to you. I appreciate you coming through and being part of the fam. Appreciate you, my man. Word up. Appreciate that. So yeah, as long as you don't put your hands on me, you know, that in certain situations, you may have to adopt that kind of mantra. The question is it safe? Is it always safe to adopt the mantra that as long as you don't put your hands on me, we all right? You know, like, you know, there was an old song by Stetsasonic. Remember the rap group Stetsasonic? And they had a song called Freedom or Death. And one of the lines in that song was, it only takes one side to declare war. And if the other side ignores, they get mapped. Or should I say off the map, like a stain washed out in a laundromat. And I never forgot that line because it meant a lot to me. So what it was saying was, if somebody comes at you violently, tells you to put your hands up or that they want to fight you, and you tell them like, no, I don't want to fight or whatever, you know, that's a situation that can become, you know, violent for you, because they're saying, I'm not asking you to fight. I'm telling you, that I'm giving you a chance to fight me back, or there's just going to be a one-way street of violence. Like I'm a piece you up. I'm a woof, 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 bow. So, you have to take people who try to get violent with you very seriously. But if you're the one who has the real propensity to be violent, and people should really look out for you, then that kind of changes the whole trajectory of the situation. So if it's a situation where you're like David Banner, or should I say Bill Bixby, whoever played the Hulk, wasn't the Hulk's name David Banner before he turned green and got all kind of crazy muscles and went ham on everybody? His name was David. Or was it Bruce Banner? Was it David Banner? Anyway, so if you know that you lack self-control and that you will haul off and smack the shit out of somebody or break somebody's jaw or, pick them up, slam them, do a crazy wrestling move like pile drive them and literally break their neck unrehearsed, then it probably is best to adopt that mantra that as long as you don't put your hands on me, everything will be all right. Just give me my space, man. I need 6 feet. I get PTSD when people are right in front of me talking crazy, reckless to me. So as long as you don't do that, we good. And don't poke or put your finger in my face. You know what I mean? People take it real personally when you put your finger in their face. Crypto John says, I've been in 1,000 street fights. Well, if you had actually been in 1,000 street fights, then you wouldn't have that number. So I'm going to say that maybe you've been in 827, but you ain't been in 1,000. Falcon, what's good? What's good, my peoples? It's the 17th inning? Are you serious? Damn. How long does it take to... See, that's the problem that a lot of people have with baseball. This shit takes too fucking long. 17 innings? That's a lot of defense. And Jake O'Mara says, do you have children? I absolutely do. Do you? I got children. And Crypto John says, you don't know what you're talking about? Good. Then you don't know what you're listening about. It was Bruce Banner? Is that what it was? Bruce Banner, David Banner? Okay, I got you. Yeah, so, and Jackson says, my dad loves baseball. He would do anything for me to play baseball. Okay. Are your kids a boy or a girl? Both. But not like both at the same time. Like one is a boy and one is a girl. That kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? No weirdo kids. No transgender kids. Yeah, I mean, we not doing that. D Porter, box him up, OG. That's what's up, man. Thanks for coming through, y'all. Appreciate y'all. But I need y'all to do me one thing. I need y'all to hit that like button. Please just hit the like button. Tap that screen. Let me know. Show a little love. I appreciate it. A little bit of love is all it takes. A little bit of love goes a long, long way. A little bit of love is all it takes. All right. So we got you, Kevin Garnett. I appreciate you, my peoples. Wait a minute. Yeah, Kevin Garnett, I appreciate you. And JJ, what's good? So we're talking about as long as you don't put your hands on me. Does that cut the mustard? Will that get you where you need to be? You know what I mean? Because I don't know, man. I kind of feel like somebody talking real disrespectful to you, it can be worse than somebody putting their hands on you. Because at least when somebody puts their hands on you, when somebody tries to push you or elbow you, you know what I mean, push off on you, or just call you out like, yo, give me a fair one. We're going to shoot the fade. We're going to shoot the fade. At least you know what to do. All right, well, then fuck it. And you either going to fight or you going to back down or run or whatever the case is. But when somebody is talking real disrespectful to you, first of all, you have to analyze whether what they're saying to you is actually disrespectful, or are they somehow triggering you in some kind of way that will make you feel some kind of way. And what I'm saying is, when somebody is talking reckless to you, you have decisions to make. There's a whole lot of mental activity going on, and there might be some emotional activity, because they could be talking to you, not necessarily disrespectful, but they may be talking about somebody else that you care about, somebody that you love, somebody that you protect, somebody that's your people's. And you're thinking like, nah, man, I can't let you, come on, man. I can't let you do that. I can't let you talk about my peoples like that. No, like, we not doing that. And then they might persist to do it. Like, yo, I'm just telling the truth. This the way it is. And that might go against the truth that you tell or that you know. So as you're trying to, get the story straight and keep you cool, it may feel like these words that they spitting at you, you're like, yo, man, I'd rather you just punch me in the face than to be talking all this old crazy shit that you talking about. So I don't know if as long as you don't put your hands on me always passes the smell test. I don't know if as long as you don't put your hands on me, as long as you keep your hands to yourself, as long as you give me 6 feet of space, as long as your arms are to your side or behind your back, then we good. Attention. I'm under the impression that words can lead to violence. I mean, think of how many people that you know that have gotten in fights with somebody. And a lot of times they'll tell you, like, yo, I punched, the motherfucker said this, that, and the third to me and shit. I punched him right in the mouth. Wow! Bust his whole shit. Caved in his dental work. He got to get that shit all reconstructed, man. You know what I'm saying? He got to get the elves to go back in there, you know what I'm saying, and try to, put that shit back together, before Christmas time. Yeah, the elves got to go in there and fix his shit. I bust his whole shit. You know what I mean? His teeth came tumbling down. They came tumbling down like a enamel avalanche. They came down but that's what he get. You gotta watch your mouth. And this is not really, this is a controversial type of subject, y'all, because, like last month with the death of Charlie Kirk, but with the death of Charlie Kirk, you got to think that it was his words that made people be against him. So they wasn't trying to hear that, as long as you don't put your hands on me shit. They like, nah, you can't be saying the shit that you saying. Because that makes other people act violently. That makes other people go out and want to do something, want to take action. So I think that it's always a good idea for people to watch their mouth. And it ain't as hard as it sounds. Some people try to make it sound like, well, you know what I mean? I just can't stand, nobody being all up in my face, or, you know what I mean, talking all crazy and shit, because I ain't no sucker, and I ain't no cornball, and I ain't no nut ass nigga, and I ain't just gonna have nobody. I get it. I totally get it. I've been there. I totally get it. But we all got to learn how to exercise self-control, because we all know that there's a place where violence is acceptable, and there's a place where violence will have your ass chilling out behind bars, eating cheese sandwiches with that little milk. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to do that. All over something somebody said. So hold on. Kevin Garnett says, I just joined. This is perfect timing. I'm actually filing for divorce tomorrow over my wife's disrespect. Can't talk to someone who was never taught respect. Yo, man, that is gospel right there. And I'm sorry that you got to go through that. I really am. I really am. But especially in a marriage or a relationship, but especially in a marriage, when you have perpetual disrespect, I mean, to me, it sounds that like that could be as worse as domestic violence. Words have violent tendencies too. Now, some people might deny that. Like, no, words are just words. They don't have no violent tendencies. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So when somebody totally insults you, and I don't care whether what they're talking about is true or not, but when somebody totally insults you, or they lie on you, or they spread rumors about you, or they say things to turn other people against you and may even make other people want to be violent against you, that's good. As long as they didn't put their hands on you, because they didn't touch you. They didn't touch you, but maybe the things that they said made other people want to touch you. Maybe the things that they said made other people want to be violent with you. Maybe the things that they said made other people want to go get some other people to all team up against you. Or, you know, what's going on nowadays with things like the Me Too movement and things like that. You know what I mean? It get in your pockets. So you can't just say anything that you want to out in this world, even though we have the First Amendment that says that you can say anything that you want. But there are consequences to all of that. Jeff Sprayberry, what's good? What's good, my people? All right, man. All right, that's what's up. All right. Oh, JJ says, today there are a lot of big talkers. Like Mike said, everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. And that's true. That's true. Kevin says, yeah, my wife is really testing. Damn, man. That's right, Carla. Tell them to stay strong. Let's see. Blueberry Bunny says, I know if I talk smack, I might get my mouth corrected from my parents. You said get my mouth corrected for real. My parents taught me that. Yeah, and most people's parents do teach them that, but some parents don't. If a parent doesn't know how to control their mouth, or they think that they have the right to just say anything that they want, and I've seen this. I've seen parents, you know, that felt like they can just say whatever they want because they think that they telling the truth, or they just saying what everybody is scared to say, but what everybody is thinking. That kind of shit trickles down to your kids, and then when your kids get punched all in the mouth, or they get their stomach, you know what I'm saying? Or they get dragged all over the playground and shit, knees all scratched up, holes all in their pants. You know what I mean? Look like they got dragged by a truck or something like that. And now them same parents who never taught their kids not to think before they said certain things, or imagine how words are going to affect people that they talk to. A lot of them parents be trying to sue. They trying to sue other kids. He tried to kill my son. I'm pressing charges. You need to press charges against your fucking mouth. But every case is different. Every case is different, though. Just Sprayberry told us, give me your cornbread. Oh my God. Yeah, you fucked me up with that. I can't. Not tonight, goddamn. Not tonight. Yes, tonight. All right, hold on. JJ says, I try to be pretty reserved in my old age. Your ass will definitely go to jail if you punch one of these fools that talk smack, yo, you ain't never lied. Everybody's so litigious these days. You know what I mean? Everybody trying to get case money. I mean, it says, Carrie, I saw a lady on live last night that was watching TV while doing a live. She wanted people to send money, but was watching a show off to the side. LOL, couldn't be bothered to talk to me. Damn. People getting away with that? Damn. That's crazy. JJ says, oh, heck no, not the cornbread. Blueberry Bunny says, violence is in many forms. It is like a big feeling. It is like a big feeling, but can have physical manifestation. That's true. That's true. And I'm trying to figure out who can go through life without experiencing that. Now, I'm not an advocate of violence, but I do realize that sometimes violence is the answer. Sometimes there isn't another way. Sometimes there isn't another answer. Sometimes this shit gotta go down because some people don't learn. You know, if you've ever dealt with a person that doesn't respond well to being talked to nice, to people being kind to them and all of that shit, then you see what I'm saying. Like, oh, so if I tell you that I don't like something that you're doing, you don't see the benefit of stopping to do it. But if I pop you in your fucking forehead, or if I tap your nose very hard, then you understand, like, oh. And yo, the surprised look of people that get punched in the mouth that ain't ready, you know what I mean? Because often it's people who can't fight that get punched in the mouth, or the ones that be running their mouth. They always the ones that can't fight. There's people who've ever been punched in the mouth before, they know not to talk reckless. That's one thing you kind of learn. Like, oh, it was something I said, wasn't it? Like, it was. My man Jay Sloan is in the house. What's good, my dude? What's good? Carla says, I think talking violence leads to acts of physical violence, and I think so too. I definitely do. Jason Sloan says, I don't usually condone physical violence anymore because I know it does physical and emotional damage. But sometimes physical pain fosters understanding that language doesn't. And that's true. And it's a lesson that everybody has to learn. It is. It's a lesson that everybody has to learn. And when you learn it once, it sticks. It sticks. You know, I mean, if you talk reckless again, you probably do it in a safer environment. You know what I mean? If nothing else, you'll probably talk reckless to somebody you absolutely can beat, or somebody that won't catch you with a good one. Like, he don't know how to knock nobody out, so I'm good. Yeah, pussy. Yeah, I'm saying, yeah, I mean, that old sucky shit. Yo, motherfucker, yo, you better do this and you better do that. And I wish you would. I wish you would. I wish, nigga. Like, okay. All righty. TK Ray says, they always gasp. And yo, you can never duplicate that kaleidoscope of light that you see, when you get punched in the eye. Yo, you know that kaleidoscope of light that BAM! Remember the old Batman TV show? And when they would fight, they'd be like, pow, bam, crash, thwip, whack. That's, yo, you get punched in the eye, there's a whole kaleidoscope of light. It'd be like green, some red in there, maybe a little yellow, maybe some brown. It's a kaleidoscope of light that can't be duplicated by any other thing in the world. It's something about the form of the fist, going right in your eye socket. You know what I'm saying? That kaleidoscope of light, and you never really forget it. Oh, and also them horns that go off. Bam! Because that's kind of like what it sounds like when you get punched in the eye. It's the kaleidoscope of light, and also them horns that go off. Wham! 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 Hold on. I might be. Hold on, y'all. I might have something for that. Let me see. See what I got. Hold on. Let me see if I can put it up on the NPC. Let me see. We got horns in here. We got bass, electric. Let me see. Oh, here we go with this bullshit. Here we go with that bullshit. Nah. That's close, but I need a horn. Hold on. Hold on, son. We might be able to get it. Nah. Brass. Here we go, brass. Hold on, we close. There we go. Bam! 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 Wait a minute. All right, so this is what we gonna do. We ready now. Are we ready? Are we ready? All right. So you know what I mean? Get my hardware out of the way. Get my hardware out of the Hold on, let me get it a little bit closer. Hold on. All right, let's go. So, the words that you speak can have you laid out. Now, I'm not trying to tell nobody to get all bent out of shape and start going in on somebody. You know, bear hugging them. I'm not advocating none of that. This is more of a warning. You know, a safety precaution. Because you don't know. It's crazy out here in these streets. You don't know who has boxing skills, martial arts skills. You don't know. You looking at somebody, you know, maybe they don't have a lot of weight on them, and you think that because you have a lot of weight, you know, you can easily beat them, and they know all the pressure points. Yeah, I mean, yo, they punch you in the chakras, you dumbass. Laid your ass out in the chakra. Capture chakra. You know what I mean? He go Betty Bye. He go. Yeah, I don't want to see that. Look, listen. On the surface, I'm a very non-violent person, but I do understand, it's a time and a place for all things. So when we start talking about, as long as they don't put their hands on me, you have to consider the extremes, because to some people, as long as you don't put your hands on me, means that they can be all up in your face. Yo, man, I'm trying to tell you, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was just, I was that don't sound safe to me. A grown man ain't gonna let you do no shit like that. A grown woman ain't gonna let you do no shit like that. And even in a domestic situation where you're talking about a man and a woman living together or in the same house or whatever the case may be, spousal type of shit, you find out, women ain't trying, they don't want to be verbally abused by nobody. They don't want to be verbally abused by their man, and they ain't having that shit. So a woman will let you know, like, listen, I don't like the way you talk to me. And listen, you can't be talking to me like that. Can't be talking to me like that. Not that she might not be a shrinking violet. She might not be a shrinking violet. She might have grew up with brothers or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? She don't fight like this. You know what I'm saying? She might be the type. She might be the type that's good with one of these. Like, well, I don't really like the way you talk to me, so I poke your dumb ass up. Poke it in there and twist that motherfucker. She try to deorganize you. Yeah, deorganize. Like you got organs, and she tried to take your organs out. She tried to deorganize you. Now you are unorganized. What did you do to be so unorganized? Your desk was neat, but you was unorganized. All over something you said? Come on, man. We can do better than this. So yeah. As long as they don't put their hands on me, I don't know if that's good enough. I don't know if that's gonna transcend the feelings that you have, the peace that you've been trying to achieve. You ever talk to somebody and they tell you that you are disturbing their peace? In other words, they've been on this journey trying to get zen with it. They've been trying to get zen with it. They've been trying to Om, 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 and you're fucking with me, and I'm like, Om. See, every time I'm trying to get zen, somebody be trying to de-zen me. Damn, I missed the call. Hold on. Hold on. Caller, you can call back. You can call back, you know what I'm saying? Who that was? Who that was? All right, hold on. Hold on. See who that was. Oh. Well, let me call you back. There you go. It says you called twice. Hello? Yeah. Hey, yeah. What's going on? Did you somebody called this number?
I did.
Oh, it was you. Who knew?
I can never tell because what I'm, it's a delay. So,
I.
how it goes.
It's all good. How you feeling tonight?
Oh, I'm feeling. What's up, chat? What's up, family? What's up, son?
I'm good. Feeling like a real man should. You already know. So, so we talking about tonight, right?
I do.
All right. So what's your feelings on the whole thing? Like, do you adopt the mantra of as long as they don't put their hands on me, we good, or is that acceptable or unacceptable for you? God damn.
So I've been on both sides of this thing. Because my mouth is reckless. There's no question about that. It was worse when I was younger. But also, you can't just talk shit to me. Can it be okay? You definitely can't put your hands on me. That's not ever going to work. And you can't do all that in my face shit. None of that. I'm not for that. And even with my mouth being reckless, there's a pause before it becomes that. Like there's a moment before I get real disrespectful because it gives you the opportunity to shut the fuck up talking to me. Mm-hmm. Like I'm going to tell you politely, please leave me alone. And then if you don't, well then that's when whatever happens. And I can't say I've had my proudest moments because I have physically put my hands on someone for being in my face and doing too much. Twice, actually. Once I was charged. The first time I wasn't, the second time I was charged. But I was able to walk away.
By charge, you mean what? You had to go to court? Assault. Oh, shit. Okay.
For assault. And then there was a time where my mouth was so reckless that this dude said he was going to kill me. And he was at that moment where he was probably ready to choke me out, but my son's godfather snatched me up before he could do anything. So I've been on both sides of the coin.
Okay. So where does it come in to whereas you can feel like as long as you don't put your hands on me? Like, is that ever a feeling, or do you feel like everybody needs to watch exactly what they say and their tone of voice or whatever? Like, how does that go?
We know a lot of times it's how you say things, not so much what you say, but how you say it. But at the same time, I think it's everything. Like you need to, I'm not saying anyone has to walk on eggshells, but there are just specific things you just can't go around saying to people and doing to people. Like I'm not one. We can have a conversation at any time, even if it gets loud. But you cannot just start putting your hands in my face and touching me. Like I don't like none of that. And then putting your finger in my face and all that kind of stuff. Then it just now you're being real disrespectful, and then I don't care about what's gonna happen next.
Mm-hmm.
And is that the way to be? I don't know. I can't say yes or no. I just know. I try not to do that. Like, if we're going to have a discussion, even if we have an argument, I'm not one of those put my hands in your face kind of people. However, if you start doing it to me, then it's, then it gets bad. And because I know my response is different sometimes. I'm not saying it's the best. I'm not proud of it. I'm not bragging. I'm not anything. But I'm not quick to let stuff go. So that means if you live in the house with me, then you probably need to move right now.
Okay.
If you're somebody who's done something, I see you on the street, just avoid me at all costs because I'm not going to act right. I'm not saying it's okay to be like that. It's just where I am at this age in my life. So because of that, I prefer not to have these kind of issues going on. Like at 54, I don't want to be arguing and fight no damn body. Like I wake up and just roll over too hard and have an ache. So I definitely don't want to get in a fight and have to have all that shit going on. But When the adrenaline is pumping and we're at that point, there's no stopping it. So that's why there's a moment where I'm polite and say, please leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
I'll give you a couple times to please leave, and then eventually please leave me the fuck alone. And then
Mm.
if you don't, then it happens. But you do have to watch what you say out here. Like I've grown as far as my mouth being reckless until you push me to that point. And I'm not saying it's okay, but it just is what it is.
Uh-huh.
But I just don't start off, yeah, you a bitch, your mama a bitch, your daddy a bitch, you a bitch. None of that kind of stuff.
Yeah. And see, and that's a big part of the problem. Now I think some of the things that factor into the equation is how well you know a person and how well that person knows you. So y'all history with each other can factor into it, because if y'all have history with each other, then y'all should know a little bit more about what could trigger you and what wouldn't. You know what I mean? And that doesn't necessarily mean that somebody is going to be respectful or mindful of what can trigger you. Like knowledge, them being knowledgeable of what can trigger you might be the actual thing that makes them trigger you. You understand what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I say, like, the history that y'all have with each other can often be a determining factor about how the outcome of things are going to go. Um, Good or bad. But like with a stranger,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's probably a little harder to go by as long as they don't put their hands on me. But then again, it could go easier, because you might think like, okay, maybe that's just their way. Maybe they touched. Maybe they a little crazy. Maybe something else is going on. Maybe it's mistaken identity. They may have mistaken me for a fool. But you might be able to let certain shit slide from a stranger. But it could depend on the danger factor that stranger has. You know what I mean? It could be stranger danger, where you might feel like, I need to take this motherfucker out. Because the things that they're talking about, the things that they're saying are dangerous in nature. So I might need to eliminate this threat real quick. So,
That's the scary part. That part right there with a stranger and eliminate this threat, because like even in this climate we're in now, we know people are very emboldened to say and do anything at this point. And that's the part that bothers me, because I'm like, I'm just going to get some bear spray and start bear spraying people and tasing people. Because I'm not going to argue with you back and forth. But if you get out of pocket, then I'm just going to have to do what I have to do. And that's where it gets a little blurred, because you have to protect and defend yourself. But at the same time, it's like, how much of this crazy talk do you accept? For example, there was a time I was at CVS and it was during the girl time. And like, I don't want people breathing near me because I'm not feeling good. So I'm just trying to get my business and mind my business. And this person, who was not a woman, but dressed as a woman, came over to me, girl, I understand, and put his hand on my shoulder and patted his imaginary vagina.
What?
And so I moved
for
him not to touch me anymore. And instead of him he didn't read the area. He didn't read the room at all. And so he does it again. And I'm already in a space of discomfort. And now you fucking with me mentally, because we both know you don't have what I have. And you have no business over in this area of this drugstore. So why the hell are you over here talking to me? So that resulted, and again, I'm 5'6.5". He was probably 17 and big. But at that moment,
how tall are you?
5'6.5".
And how tall was he?
I don't know, probably 7. I don't know, 8 feet. I don't, he was a giant.
You said that's probably 7, maybe 8 feet.
He got these heels.
He said he was giant.
Made him look like Paul Bunyan.
Mm.
In my face messing with these big ass hands. And so at that moment, I don't care now because you touched me already and I don't like strangers touching me. And then you talking to me like I'm in this world of make believe like you. And I just don't want you talking to me. I'm not in a good, you should know I'm over here, so leave me alone. And in that moment, I just snapped out. And then I said all the most inappropriate things. And I could see the rage in him, but I didn't care because the rage is in me too. So it's going to be what it's going to be. You probably going to win. I'm probably going to have to press charges against you or get my brothers to get you. However, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
So there are situations like that where what do you do? How do you navigate this situation? I probably couldn't have said, sir or Miss Ma'am, whatever the fuck you go by, don't touch me. I probably could have said that, but you would think you don't do that. And maybe he's comfortable because he sees women do that. Because women support each other during these moments in our lives. However, at the same time, get the fuck away from me for real. Like if you are familiar with women, then you know women don't want to be bothered when they're in this area during this time. And then you come up with this imaginary ass shit. So it's situations like that. Then how do we move forward to that? Because hey, just leave me alone. Just don't talk to me. Just go on over there and do what you do in your world. I'm not knocking you. I'm not bothering you. But leave me alone. But there was a moment when all sense came out of my head. Like I say too, parenting. I always say being a parent is the loss of all senses. At least for me it is, and the mothers I know. Being a parent is the loss of all senses, especially when your child is young, because there is nothing on the table that allows you to do anything to disrespect your kid. I remember there was a teacher who did too much. And we went up to the school, and now what we going to do here? Because you keep your hands off of my son, who you're angry because he don't want to do your pledge of allegiance, or because he told you you're wrong for saying English people are ignorant. Girl, what are we doing here? So see, there is a moment where all senses are lost. There are specific things that can happen that make you forget that you are a person and you can go to jail or harm another person, or they can harm you. Mm-hmm. So it's not just about don't touch me. It's also watch what you say. Don't put your hands on me at all. Don't put your fingers in my face. Don't spit on me, because I've seen that happen. And that's another thing. I'm like, if one of these people spit on me, I am going to prison. Because I'm there spraying taser, and then I'm just going to just stab you. Don't do that. So there are so many different things out here that more than as long as you don't put your hands on me. Like, we grew up with sticks and stones and break your bones. Excuse me, sticks and stones and break your bones, but words will never hurt you. That's bullshit. I remember when my mother passed, my cousin's friend was mad because my cousin didn't come over there. And she came over, to check on what was going on because it just happened. And this bitch says, I don't give a fuck about that. Fuck her and her dead mama. To this day, if I see her, it's on site. It just is what it is. And I'm going to take whatever happens. But when I see her, it is on site. I'm never going to forget that.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those yo mama kind of people that I'm going to get upset because I know what nobody fucking with my mama. However, but fuck your dead mama, that's different. That's different to me. I've never forgotten that, and I probably never will. So when I see it, it's just going to be ugly.
Yeah.
So I don't know. There are situations where it's more than just as long as you don't put your hands on them.
I mean, yeah, there's a time and a place for that as long as you don't put the hands on me. And in dangerous situation, I'm not sure if that's going to fly. I think that most of the time when we talk about as long as they don't he don't put your hands, they don't put their hands on me or whatever. That might, to me, that sounds like more of a situation of when maybe a woman is trying to justify staying with a man who ain't really no good for her. You know what I mean? So It's like, yeah, well, yeah, he might cheat, he may lie, he may be deceptive, he may be real disrespectful, but he don't put his hands on me. I'm like, so that's what you holding? I'm hanging your hat on? Like just because he
That
don't
goes
whoop
with
your
that
ass,
dumbass song.
huh?
That kind of behavior goes with that dumb song. This is Shirley, that dumbass shit right there, woman to
Uh,
woman. That kind of attitude goes with that dumb song. Because it should never be
I
any
wanna
moment that
be.
any man or woman allows someone to disrespect them in a relationship. It just shouldn't be, period. Like I heard you say something about somebody said they're getting divorced because their wife is disrespectful. You absolutely should if that's what's happening, because you should never allow another person to disrespect you and then stay in the same house with them and live with them and love them, because that's not what love is. So yeah.
But the thing is, we have to, because disrespect means different things to different people. For some people, disrespect is just when it can be just when somebody corrects them. You're like, they spelled something wrong and somebody tells them like, yo, you didn't spell that right. Some people are so sensitive that might be viewed as disrespect to them, which is totally all base and not grounded in anything uh, sensible. Whereas for other people, disrespect might be doing something that offends somebody else or that they ask you not to do.
Well, it's
You know,
definitely on a case by case situation.
but that's
It's definitely what that person feels to be fully disrespect. Like some people say cheating is XYZ, and for me, if you even given the impression that you're available and we're in a relationship, that's cheating to me. So you just gonna be free for the street.
okay. So you understand what I'm saying? Where
Yeah.
where the lines of disrespect can definitely be crossed and they can be blurry. You know what I mean? So I think that with each situation, we probably have to define exactly what's disrespect versus you know what might need to be looked the other way at or something like that. So we all have our different experiences and we all have our different ways that we feel. We all have different emotions. So let me ask you this: what is somebody talking disrespectful to you? What does that mean? What does it look like? What does it sound like?
Oh, talking disrespectful. If you are threatening me, not so much calling me out of my name. I don't care nothing about that, because whatever. But if you're threatening me, that's disrespect. If you're threatening me, if you're up in my face, um, it's more of a threat. I remember when my ex's sister, she was trying to give me some life lesson stuff because she felt like she was older. And I'm like, okay, I'm through talking. So I handed him back the phone. And her thing was, I'm not through talking. And I said, when I'm through talking, that means I'm through listening too. And she said, well, I'm older than you. I said, my grandmother's older than both of us. And it's understood when I'm through talking and listening, we get off the phone. So I'm through talking and listening to you, and I'm off the phone with you. And her response was, well, I just be on my way over there. And I'm thinking it's 3 o'clock in the morning. My son and my niece are in here asleep. If you on your way to my house, you better bring the police with you. Because I immediately said, okay, and got quiet and went and took an iron, plugged it up, filled it with bleach, put it by the door, and had some other things prepared because I was going to let her come in and then say that a burglar came in. And I had to defend my house.
What's the bleaching the iron about?
Hot chlorine.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
No, I'm not.
That's gonna ruin that iron.
I don't care about that. That's what the iron is for. It was purposely bought.
That could have that might have been a Rowenta iron. You can't anyway. So yeah. But okay. All right. So I have a pretty good picture of what talking disrespectfully means to you. Well, I think it's important for us to understand that now, and I think for myself, talking disrespectful basically is has a lot of the ingredients of what you were talking about, like sort of talking to me as if there won't be any consequences for what you're saying. Like, there's no way I would ever react other than being surprised at what you're talking about. Like, and that's just it's not a good way to be. You know what I mean? Like, it's just because you don't know what a person has in store as far as rage is concerned. You just never know. You know what I mean? But when a person shows you what you didn't know, you may have purchased something that you don't really want to take delivery on. You know what I mean? But you about to get this package. And it can get bad.
You don't know what people have gone through and what they're going through, what they're dealing with. That's the other side of it too. You don't know what a person is going through. So you have to be mindful.
Yeah. And even if they're not really going through nothing, they might just not like what you said.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, that just may not be a good idea. Like maybe going back to what you said, like maybe some of the things that they have been through make certain words like buzzwords. You know? It can be something that triggers them. You know, you don't know, you just don't know a person's history. So, and it doesn't really cost anything to be respectful of a person, you know, because even at the grassroots level, just talking to somebody in a way that you would prefer to be talked to is a good start, because it shows that you're considerate and taking other people's feelings and thoughts and whatever into consideration is a good idea. It's never a bad idea. So it can get hairy out here. But, you know, even with that being said, you know, if we're talking about as long as they don't put their hands on me, that might work if you are in fear, you know, because I've heard people who were scared to fight or scared to react or scared of whatever, you know, and I heard them say things like, well, as long as they ain't put their hands on me, we all right. And, you know, not to call them a punk or nothing like that, but they were satisfied with that because they didn't want to fight in the first place. So it was like a concession for them. Like, I don't have to make a decision to defend myself as long as they don't put their hands on me. I'm like, but maybe the things that they said to you may have been worse than somebody putting their hands on you, because it's like those words can kill your spirit. You know what I mean? Send your whole soul into a tailspin.
It can.
Yeah, you don't want that.
We know words can speak over the life of a child if people aren't careful. Like a parent who's always saying, "You just like your daddy. You ain't shit. You lazy. You shiftless. You da 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 da," and that can set inside that child's spirit and make them be just what you decided them to be, what you spoke upon them.
Yeah. I mean, a whole lot can go into all of this shit. But yeah, you can't assume that somebody is thinking along the lines of, well, as long as they don't put their hands on me, because that might not be the mode that they're in. You know what I mean? That might not be where they are mentally and emotionally at all. And by the time you find out how busy they ready to get, it might be too late. You thinking like, well, damn, over this small thing. I mean, I ain't even mean nothing by it. And you may really haven't meant nothing by it, or you may have meant something by it. But now you see the consequences of your actions. You know, now I hate to take it back to that whole Charlie Kirk thing and all of that, but for 2025, that has to be an example that people take heed to. It has to be.
The perfect example. And then he became a victim, and it's like, now wait a minute. He's the one who said all these things. As the action happened, he was in the midst of saying some negative things, literally as it was happening.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we doing here? And I've had a discussion with somebody. Well, it doesn't mean he deserved for it to happen. I said no one ever said that. But what we're saying is he spoke this upon himself. Like, let's be realistic. He's the one who said people are going to have to die to prove blah 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 blah. And he was the result of it. He was the poster child for his words. As he was getting shot, he was just being questioned about the shooting that was happening to children in school, which was taking place at the same time this was happening to him, and he was in the midst of being a smartass, and then everybody saw what happened. So it's like you just have to be mindful. His words, he was the product of his words, and his words incited the violence that came. But everybody made him the victim. He was in the victim in the legal sense, yes. But at the same time, he incited it. Like we know the words. Look at what happened January 6th. This was incited from some words.
Mm-hmm.
Look at, and I'm not making excuses for anyone. By no means am I making an excuse. But we know some of these school shootings have come on the heels of a child being bullied. I'm not condoning what they did, but at the same time, there's some responsibility in there too for parents to teach their children. Leave people the fuck alone. Leave other people's kids alone. You can't go through life thinking you are tough because you can bully somebody, because you and your friends can go around bullying somebody. Because the result is, look what this child came back and did to other people. There are victims here, and you still here. This child has lost their life, and other people have lost their lives because you can't keep your hands to yourself, or you can't keep your words to yourself, bullying somebody. So we have to be mindful of all these things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Well.
I said, I don't try to. I don't. I'm not a starter. I don't start shit at all. Like, live your life. Just don't bother me. That's how I feel. However, if I'm out in public and somebody's doing something wrong to somebody, I'm inclined to probably step in. Hey, what do you leave that person alone? I've had that incident before. Stupid ass woman bothering some black kids. Bitch, get the hell on. Now watch for a minute quietly just to see where we're going with it. Then hey, can you leave those kids alone? Now, if you start being disrespectful to me, this changes the trajectory of what's gonna happen. Everything has become a different situation now.
Mm-hmm.
So I will step in a situation where I see someone that's being bullied or taking advantage of my cousin. Before, there was a guy who was putting his hands on his girlfriend, and we were like 15, 16, and we watched this shit. We ain't no bigger than nothing. We get your hands off of her. We're not going to watch you do this. All these men around here watching it, but we're not. Put us in a dangerous situation, possibly, but we also not going to watch somebody just disrespect another person in that manner. So,
Yeah. Words have power.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, words have power, and the people who seem to try to escape that fact are often the people who use the most powerful form of speaking. I mean, because they want to be able to say whatever they want to say, which I understand, but they want to do it without any consequences. And that's when things get a little sticky. That's when things get murky. That's when the lines of understanding get crossed and disagreements can't be bridged. So, but like I said, it doesn't cost anything to be respectful. It doesn't cost anything to think about what you say. Think about the gravity of your words before you speak. It's not that hard. Some people try to make it sound like it's an impossible mission. Like they are just so impulsive that they can't help it. You can help it. And if you can't help it, there's a good chance you might run into someone one day that will help you help it.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're going to show you how to help it. Like, don't you worry about a thing. So yeah, I definitely don't like to see people getting hurt. Like even online, I hate to see certain fight videos and stuff. I'd be like, this shit ain't really cool. You know what I'm saying?
I don't like those.
Yeah.
I don't like those at all.
Certain ones. Now there's some fight videos, that I've enjoyed, but for the most part, I don't want to see that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to see that shit. And because it's on video and it's on the internet, you know what I'm saying? I think to myself how that person, the one that lost, how they feel knowing that the rest of the world saw this shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, talk about adding insult to injury, getting knocked out, not getting knocked out, so the whole world can critique the thing that just happened to you. It's not a good look, but it happens. And but yeah, the words that people speak, it gets them all the time. It gets them in trouble all the time. And so
it's not getting the right people in trouble. Just not.
Ain't that some shit? Yeah, I mean, there's just some circumstances that we have to wait on, and the wait seems extra long, and it don't even seem fair. But hey, it go the way it go, and we still have to roll with those punches.
Because that's the part I wanted to see when he said, "Y'all want to see me go back here and kick some ass?" I was like, "Yes, please do. Let's see how this works for you."
Yeah.
To see it. Go ahead.
Nah, that'd have been interesting. That would have been interesting. And it's always the people who can't fight that want to talk about, I don't know. Maybe they watch too many movies or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, where you could just punch the shit out of somebody and they don't defend themselves. It ain't really like that in the world. The real world, it's a big difference. You don't get it.
I've been slapped from my mouth once. I've been slapped from my mouth once because I used to. My family was let's break up. I'm gonna break up on New Year's Eve, so I'm going to the New Year with no issues. Like we're done. And I remember I did that with a guy. Broke up with him New Year's Eve and talked shit to him on the phone. He kept calling me, and I had gone out days later. Hung out with my son's godfather and came and dropped me off at home. And coming up the steps, this dude jumps out of the bushes.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a little tipsy. So he's talking crazy, blah, blah, blah. So I'm talking just big, crazy energy, strong, just all of the negative, you know, bitch ass nigga, da 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 da, all the stuff.
Oh Lord!
Before I knew it, he slapped the hell out of me and stunned me for about 2 seconds. But before I could respond, of course, my son, my brother's friends jumped off the porch because they were outside, and well, it didn't go well for the dude to put his hands on him. But you know,
yeah.
But I know how those words can you know.
Yeah.
You just never know what person's head is. I mean, it could have been he got out and shot the dog shit out of me, you know?
I mean, the shit like that can happen.
Yeah, it has happened.
But I know, I just know that at this age, I'm trying to avoid violent situations.
That part.
I
don't want to be into it with nobody. I don't want to argue. I don't want to nothing. That's why I said I'm going to tase and bear spray. That way we can avoid all the issues. You won't get out my face? All right. I'm not even going to talk about it. Like, I don't have arguments at this point in my life. I just get real quiet and then start calculating in my head what the next move is going to be.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me walk away, but if you follow me, then I'm going to have to react. But other than that, let me walk away from this situation. Because this is dumb. This part is dumb right here.
Yeah. Well, when you're the type of person that has a strong personality and maybe some size on you, you already know that people are not going to take you lightly when it comes to violence. You know what I mean? They're going to give it all they got, or they might be trying to take you on a off of here. You know what I'm saying? So you and that's something that I always have to stay cognizant of. Like, ain't nobody gonna fight me regular. They're gonna fight me like their life is on the line. And that's gonna be their response to everything. So for me, it could be extra dangerous to be getting into a fight. You know what I mean? So yeah, and at least I have enough self-awareness to understand that. Not everybody does. Not everybody does at all. So yeah, there's certain things you have to take into consideration. So, you know, there are times when I actually have to be like, well, as long as they don't put their hands on me, we good. You know, but at the same time, just because you don't put your hands on me doesn't mean that you haven't affected me. And it doesn't even mean that you haven't hurt me. If your words are violent, then your energy is violent too. So just because I don't feel punches or kicks or swings or anything like that doesn't mean that I haven't gotten hurt. Doesn't necessarily mean that. So if a person does not care if your feelings are hurt or if you're down, or, you know, if they don't take your emotional state into consideration at all, I'm not so sure that that's not as bad as violence is. It could be right up there with violence. You know, when it comes to violence, you know where you stand with a person. With all this talk, you can't really know. And that confusion alone can be real offsetting, whether it's to you or somebody else. It's just not where you want to be. So once again, it doesn't cost anything to be nice. It doesn't cost anything to take people's thoughts and feelings into consideration. But it does cost something to just be totally disrespectful of somebody and to undermine them and mistreat them. There's a price to pay for that. Now, you may think you have more than enough to pay, or you may actually think that it's free. But freedom is a subjective thing. And sometimes we're not free when we think we are. Sometimes.
These new people on this planet, that's their go-to. The new people on the planet have a propensity to incite these negative reactions on a consistent basis for content, to get a reaction.
Content.
They have a love for this. It drives them. And so we see so much of this on a regular basis every time we turn on any device to watch anything. This is what we see a lot of. And that's disturbing to me because I don't recall it being so much of it. Does it mean it didn't happen back when we were young? It probably did, but we weren't exposed to it as much. Or at least there was more unity than it is now for it not to happen. But now it's just even people they call friends do it, you know? And I've never experienced that, but that's what you see now. This is your friend, but your friend is with another friend. And so now their thing is to disrespect you. What is, if this is truly, if I got friends like this, who needs enemies?
Yeah.
Because why would your friend do that? Just to get a like on a post or to, you know, that to embarrass you so they can get some people to follow them. And it's just insanity to me. So that's what these new people are. So we see so much more of this disrespect on a regular basis. And it saddens me. Because are you kidding me? You're beating up senior citizens and you think it's cute? Like you're robbing a senior and you think it's cute? Are you punching somebody in the face walking down the street? You think that's cute? You know, those kind of things are just, it's very troubling. Very troubling that we live in this society. And then we can't even talk about these people who think it's okay to just go into a restaurant and spaz out over some ketchup or fries or something dumb that could be easily resolved with just some simple words, but you in there yelling and acting a fool. Are you tearing up a store because somebody tells you to put a mask on or put a shirt on or something? It's just too much. Too much. This is where we are in this society, and it's not okay.
Yeah. It's not. It's absolutely not. Yeah. And oh gosh, being disrespectful out here to people doing their jobs and shit like that. Ugh. Dangerous territory. Reckless behavior. Very, very reckless behavior. And it don't have to be that way. That's the crazy part about it. It really doesn't have to be that way.
That it's grown people doing it. Our age who's doing it. That's the crazy part, is people our age carrying on like that.
Yeah. Yeah, that is the crazy part. So yeah, the whole it gets harder and harder to move closer to the as long as they don't put their hands on me part. But you know, I talked earlier about some people being scared, and that's why they pick the, you know, as long as they don't touch me route. But then again, there's some people who know how dangerous that they are personally. So they may adopt the whole, as long as they don't put their hands on me type of mantra, because they may know, like somebody actually putting hands on them may trigger something and like send them off into an uncontrollable rage. Whereas as long as you don't actually touch me, I might be able to move past this thing, because it doesn't mean as much to me as it may mean to other people to get cussed out or something like that. And once again, the whole read the room thing comes into play, because that might be acceptable with some, definitely unacceptable with others. You have to know who you're talking to. And some people forget who they talking to, like they really don't give a shit about it. Well, somebody is going to give a shit about it for you, more than likely. It can get ugly.
My kid used to be like that. As long as you didn't put your hands on him or me, or his girlfriend, he was good. But now, like, if you say anything racial to him, it just sends him into a different kind of world of just sets him off to another level.
Sets him off into another level.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, well, disrespect ain't an easy thing for everybody to swallow. It's just not. Now, especially if you're a level-headed person that just happens to be trying to do better in life. Like, here I am, practicing love, unity, and grace, and understanding. And here you come, derailing all of that shit. Well, yeah. It can bring the worst out of a person. It really can.
Yeah.
It can bring out the worst. So, yeah. And once again, it does not cost anything to watch your mouth. It's actually a good practice, but you have to be around people who know how to watch their mouths so you can understand. Because sometimes a simple explanation of how come something is rude or obnoxious or off-putting to somebody can be explained to some people. Because sometimes they get so far into their own world that they really don't understand that shit.
True.
You know, they have no understanding about why somebody got mad or stopped talking to them, or you know what I mean, or who went off on them. Like, they really don't know.
You know, when you said that, I think about, because I thought about this through the years, that incident at CVS. I feel like maybe if I had handled that differently, maybe I could have explained to this person why it was so offensive, you know, or why it was inappropriate. But at the time, I was not thinking about nothing sensible. Just get away from me, and why did you touch me? You know,
right.
But I'm sure that situation could have been handled different if it was a different way or a different moment. And I said, hey, you're a stranger, you're touching me. That's number one. And regardless of how you identify, you're still a big man touching me, a little woman. So there's two. And then three, I am in this area because I'm going through something with my hormones. So in case your mother never told you, don't bother women during this time because they're not thinking rational. We just need to be left alone. We don't want other people on the planet with us right now. So don't come into my space. But, you know, we didn't get there.
All right.
And maybe after somebody explained it to them, like, hey.
It's not a bad idea to do that. Not at all. Sometimes the explanation can make the world a difference. It can be the difference between somebody liking you and disliking you. It can be the difference between somebody actually trying to get physical and or not. So, all right. So this is what we're going to do. We about to do these birthday shout outs, and then we're going to get on about it.
You must be tired.
And listen, Mondays is rough. I'm not fighting through it tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Look, I just looked over and I see you blink, double blink, and I'm like, oh, that's the sleepy blink.
Look, call it what you want. You know what I'm saying? I'm not fighting. Not tonight.
Well, happy birthday today, birthday getters. Peace and love to everybody in the chat. Peace and love, family. Everybody stay safe, be watchful, be careful.
All righty. Sounds good to me. All right, y'all. Thank you for calling in, Kim. It's always a pleasure. And I will talk to you next time.
All righty. Have a good one.
All righty. All right, let's do it. We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious October 27th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them. Making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They are S-P-E-C-I-A-L. They get the R-E-S-P-E-C-T. They get, excuse me, number one out the box, Lonita Turpin. Happy birthday to you. And also, Canary Faith Ifeka, happy birthday. And Evelyn Obo, Myra Alexandra Alcantara, TJ Taylor, Billy Teagle, Bird Pugs, and last but not least, my girl go-getter, Yvette Lucas. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious October 27th. Anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally, all of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on and do the damn, to rock out. Rock on and do the damn, rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, man, listen. As long as they don't put their hands on you, is that good enough? Do you think it's going to pull you through? I think that you probably need a little more, because if somebody hits you to even up the score, or even a little more, cuss you out, made you feel bad, talking all kinds of shit, and I think you wish you had probably tried to make a move on them, but now you got to do something different. It's still ifing. If I would have did something different, if was a spliff, we'd all have a fifth. The rift that was going on between you and I is something that I think that neither one of us should try, because you never know what a person is going through, and you better know what they might do, because they incapable of shit. That's crazy. And you might find yourself laid out. They'd be like, oh, that's my baby. My baby never hurt nobody. We got laid like a motherfucker. Now he's really just a body all up in the bag. And you like, dag, you ain't have to do him like that. That was real bad. And that's extreme. But you got to learn to keep your hands to yourself. Nah, man. And also your words. At some point in time, man, you have to allow your words. At some point in time, you have to understand that your words and your actions can sometimes be construed as the same thing. Before we get on up out of here, let's do the results of the poll. 25 votes. Is letting someone talk to you totally disrespectfully really better than someone hitting you? And 8% says, yes, violence is always worse. 24% says, no, words can be worse than fights. 16% says, I don't see the difference. And a whole whopping 52% says, disrespect leads to violence. Well. Ooh. Oh. I appreciate y'all, man. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death, resuscitate y'all, love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night, 2 a.m. in the morning. And we're going to be fresh to death, and everything is going to be all right, man. So y'all go back to the lab like I'm going to go. Recharge them batteries. Make sure everything is okay. And I want y'all to have a good night. No exceptions. Before y'all get out of here, if y'all haven't done it up until this point, please hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet. A like will do. A like will do. That will definitely suffice. Y'all be peaceful. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Holla! All right. Uh-oh. Okay. Hold on. All right, there we go.